Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll look at how we can set Kali Linux root password and also enable root login, and at the same time we'll enable root SSH login. Now before I begin, I just want to say that this is not a recommended way to log into a Kali Linux machine, because if you're running commands as a root, you might make a mistake and delete important system files, which you can't redo or restore. So best practice is to avoid using root or to avoid logging in as root. Instead, you can use the sudo command. But just in case you have a use case or there's a reason you want to log in as root, we'll see how we can enable that. By default, root login is not enabled. So there's a few things we have to do first. Now let's begin by saying that we can actually log in as root from the terminal. I'm in my terminal here, and if you wanted to log in as root, just do sudo -i and then put in the password. You should be able to log in as root. And if I do who am I, logged in as root. Let me exit, and if I do who am I, I'm logged in as Kali. Now the first thing you'll need to do if you're not able to log in as root is to set the root password. To do that, we'll need to first update the packages. So sudo app update. And then once this is done, we can install the Kali root login package. Okay, now to install the Kali root login package, we just use sudo apt install Kali root login. So I already installed it on this device, so it didn't install it. Once you have that done, you can go ahead and set the root password. And to do that, the command you'll need to run is sudo passwd, and then here you just put in password twice. That will be your root password, or the password for your root user. Now, once we have all that set, to test if we can log in as root, we can switch users. Click on this and click switch user, and then here log in as root. So root, and then the password you created. And now you're logged in as root. If you open the terminal, you can see it says root here. Now let me switch back, and then we'll see how to set up the SSH to allow us to log in as a root using SSH. So in order for us to do that, we'll have to make changes to the config file. So this is Kali. Now the config file I'm talking about is located under etc folder. So let's look at the file. It's under etc sshd underscore config, and this is the file we need to change. So there's a line on here that we need to change or to modify. Let me open the file. Let me use less. We're looking for a line that has root in it. So this line right here might be hashed out or commented out. You'll need to uncomment it, and then you'll need to change this prohibit password to yes. Okay, so, and in order to do that, you have to use sudo. We'll say sudo, then here you can use your whatever text editor you use. I'm using Vim. I'm gonna open the file, and then I'm gonna edit this line right here. I'm gonna change this to yes. Okay, I'm gonna save it. Now if I use less again, and then I search for root, you see that it's changed to yes. Now to test if we can log in with SSH as root, we'll make sure that SSH is enabled or is running. So let's use systemctl status SSH. So it's active and running, and I have it enabled. That way it starts running every time the machine boots up or reboots. Now I'm gonna use the localhost as my address to log into this computer using SSH. So I'll use SSH. The user is gonna be root, and then add localhost, which is this computer. Then it's gonna ask for the password for the root user. So let's do. So it's denying us. So in this case, what we need to do is we need to stop SSH and then restart. Because we just made some changes to the SSH config file, we'll need to restart SSH services. To do that, we'll do system ctl stop SSH. And then if I rerun the system ctl status SSH, we can see it's inactive. Now I'm gonna restart it. I'm gonna say system ctl start SSH Kali. Let's check the status again. It's active. And now let me do the command again to try and log in. SSH root at localhost, the root password, and I'm able to log in, and it shows here that it's the root that's logged in. Who am I? It's root. So I hope this information has been helpful. I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.